Welcome to Grow on the Go, your on-the-go spot for learning and development at UC Berkeley. In today's episode, we're talking about inclusion and belonging, one of the 5 performance indicators in the achievement criteria. Grow on the Go is produced by People and Organization Development in Berkeley People and Culture. What comes to mind when you think of inclusion and belonging? Is it, that's not my job? Or is it, we're all responsible for being inclusive at work? I'm hoping you sided with the latter. Inclusion is part of each of our roles at UC Berkeley. This video is going to unpack how we all play a part in building a more equitable, just, and inclusive organization, with the results of greater belonging for everybody on the team. I first want to recognize our colleagues who are in diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, or DEIB specific roles, meaning this work is their primary work. May it be in the Equity and Inclusion Office, through amazing teams like the Center for Effective Global Action and the Othering and Belonging Institute, the DEIB team in People and Culture, in-unit equity, inclusion, and diversity officers, many in student-facing roles, and the list goes on. Now I would like to take a moment to recognize everybody in this space. Inclusion and belonging is integral to our everyday work. It's a high bar that won't ever be reached as new challenges arise in the face of change, and it's our collective responsibility to keep ever reaching for that high bar of full inclusion. Some people might be thinking, I just go to work and do my job. And yes, we are employees responsible for certain tasks and results. When we contextualize what that means, going to work and doing my job, thinking of UC Berkeley's principles of community, our system-wide employee competencies, and the achievement criteria for performance, inclusion and belonging show up. That means that just going to work and doing your job is to be inclusive of others. Now, with this in mind, let's define how we're framing inclusion and belonging within the achievement criteria. Demonstrates respect for people and their differences, regardless of race, ethnicity, class, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, ability, country of origin, cultural, political, religious, or other affiliations. Understands the benefits of a diverse workforce, is trusted and respected by others, includes and welcomes others, and works to understand the perspective of others. What are you noticing here? We are talking about respect, awareness, visibility, and validation of all people, that we believe that diversity plays a role in strengthening our organization, that we respect and are respected by others, that we're welcoming, and that we seek to deeply listen to understand the perspectives of others. In our Grow on the Go series about the achievement criteria, those 5 performance indicators, we generally take you through each of those performance levels one by one, so going needs attention, well done, then standout. In today's video, I'm going to unpack each bullet point, reflecting on needs attention, then well done, and then standout performance, moving through the criteria left to right and down. Now, let's dive in and consider what's really being asked of us in this space. As we go through, jot down some notes on how any or all of these descriptions could impact the way that you approach your work and those you interact with at work. Okay, first box under needs attention. Does not demonstrate inclusiveness, in other words, demonstrates exclusiveness, and fails to recognize the value of differences. So yeah, this person might be a very my way or the highway, or even dissuade a diversity of opinions to come forward in planning, thus bottlenecking creativity, innovation, inclusion. Moving to the right, what do we notice in the first box in the well done performance level? So for all non-represented employees, for well done, inclusion, belonging, first box, respects, includes, and values differences. These are not just baseline minimum standard behaviors. Respecting, including, and valuing the differences of others is ongoing work that requires continuous upkeep. Upkeep like asking those around you, is there anything I could do to better include you? What can I do to more effectively understand and value your perspective? All right, now what is it saying about standout performance in the first box? Highly inclusive, seeks out, encourages, recognizes, and incorporates diverse points of view. Okay, so what does this mean for us at work? This is about proactive and purposeful inclusion, ensuring that those in the space are never lost, unseen, unheard, uncredited, or unwelcomed. This is a really high bar. There's going to be times where we make mistakes. Our role is to recognize impact, shift, and try to include more thoughtfully next time. Let's move to the second box down in the achievement criteria for non-represented employees. All right, needs attention, inclusion, belonging, second box down on the left, discourages points of view that are different, becomes defensive when asked to consider new or different ideas. Okay, so shutting down discourse around sharing ideas and is resistant to work with new concepts. This can contribute to major disengagement and disenfranchisement of team members. If we're performing like this, our achievement potential is capped. And in turn, the achievement potential of the team decreases because of this behavior. So moving on to the second box down under well done, seeks to understand and incorporate different points of view. Wow, what a world of difference between the needs attention and well done performance levels here. Going out to do the work of understanding a variety of viewpoints to inform your work. Why is this so important? It takes a village to make our university run effectively. We want as many viewpoints included so that when change happens, and it will, we know how to best support through the shifting landscapes and become ever more resilient ourselves because we were included, involved, and seen. What about the standout performance level for the second box down? Promotes equity and inclusion by actively seeking ideas and insights from diverse groups. Okay, so let's do some framing here. Inclusion is when we incorporate members of traditionally marginalized groups into planning, strategizing, and decision-making processes of an organization. The equity and belonging piece is the practice of developing spaces and organizations that take into consideration the unique challenges and barriers faced by disproportionately impacted groups. So yes, these are challenging things to do, and they're meaningful and give more power to those who have been disparately impacted. Moving down to the third box under inclusion and belonging. For needs attention, expects everyone to adapt to their way of thinking and communicating. For well done, applies others' diverse perspectives, styles, backgrounds, and perspectives to get results. And for standout, ensures that different experiences, styles, backgrounds, and perspectives are leveraged appropriately. Thinking of these three as a set, needs attention, we are going so far away from inclusion that we expect others to think and work how we work. In well done, we work to incorporate a wide variety to strengthen results. Standout takes it a bit further. This is about appropriate leveraging of what's available. Now the fourth box down, needs attention states, lacks curiosity or interests in different people's backgrounds, perspectives, and ideas in work and decision making. This is like, I don't even notice that you're there. And as a result, I don't even notice that you might have had an idea to share. A low sense of social perception and low self-awareness in the sense that you don't see how your focus on you is causing other people to feel left out or unappreciated. Well done performance in the fourth box down looks like being sensitive to cultural norms, expectations, maybe different ways of communicating, and biases that impact work and decision making. In this space, it asks us to do our part to learn about other cultures with respectful curiosity, being mindful of biases, and ensuring that we prevent our own biases from impacting our work and those around us. Standout performance here is about sensing how differences will play out in terms of needs, values, motivators. Someone who seeks diverse views and opinions when decision making. So instead of is sensitive in well done, this one says that the person can sense, not assume, but is aware, seeing the different needs, and builds to create a decision-making process that is informed by mitigating negative impact on one's identity, purpose, style, culture, or preferences. The fifth box down is about language and behavior, two incredibly important components of inclusion and belonging. Language is how we communicate, how we connect, how we make meaning in spaces together, how we validate our identities. Behavior is about the actions one contributes to positively or negatively engage in or change an environment or relationship. Under needs attention, uses language or behaviors that are exclusionary or offensive in nature. With well done, uses language that is inclusive and non-offensive. A lot of people worry about the "did I offend someone" situation. In our lives, we've probably offended someone. Think, how did that feel to them? How are they impacted? What did you do to resolve it? What did you learn? What did you change for next time? We cannot guarantee that we won't offend someone in the future. But if we can navigate life with the goal of not offending someone because we don't want to hurt people, and realize that a sincere apology is necessary when we unintentionally offend somebody, then that's a great start. Moving on with language that is inclusive. This is about recognizing pronouns, pronouncing names correctly, recognizing the Ohlone land on which UC Berkeley sits. It's also about creating spaces for inclusive language, inclusive dialogue, and inclusive behaviors to be the norm, and working through what that might look like specifically for your team. In Standout, creates a respectful workplace and does not tolerate insensitivity, including exclusionary language or behaviors. In the Standout Performance level, this is a high bar, and it's about creating culture around inclusion and holding the self and others accountable for demanding inclusive practices to be the norm every time. When we get to the manager shaded section, what are you noticing? It's about accountability, enablement, and visionary leadership for inclusion and belonging. It needs attention, does not hold team members accountable for the behaviors listed above. Well done, makes a visible effort to hold all members of the team accountable for behaviors above. And in Standout, is sought out as a subject matter expert, mentor, and advisor, resulting in exceptional performance from all team members in the behaviors listed above. As you plan to have your Achieve Together check-in conversations, think about actions you've taken in the previous conversation period that exemplify the behaviors we just discussed. This will help you to share with your manager about how your performance aligns with these 3 performance levels. And if you're a manager, think of behaviors you can share with your employee that align with the performance levels. This will ensure everyone is on the same page and striving for excellence. And lastly, think about what you will discuss about your goals. Use this list and these ideas to build goals that will allow you to maximize your approach for inclusion and belonging at UC Berkeley. Please take some time to review the achievement criteria on the Achieve Together website and continue on in our series for the next video about innovation.